So today we're checking out something a little different here in Branson. This is the world's largest toy museum, and they've got over 1 million toys here. The Harold Bell Wright Museum is here, and trains and all sorts of other stuff. Can't wait to show you all this place, because it's really neat. So we're here at the world's largest toy museum today, and as you can see, there is all sorts of stuff here. Can't wait to give you a little bit of a tour around. It's right on the strip here in Branson, so easy to find, and just some amazing things. For example, this Rolls Royce, which they actually drove into the museum. Its claim to fame, Queen Elizabeth rode in this, so very cool. And they have all sorts of stuff. How many of you remember Mr. Magoo? And just huge collection of old and new, classic, and all sorts of things. And yes, lots of trains. But they've got a really neat train thing here that I can't wait to show you. Okay, who likes superheroes? Spider-Man, Superman, more DC. There's an old Aquaman, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You know, I can think of several things here that I'm looking forward to. And I mean, okay, who wouldn't want their own Batmobile in the house? Batman! I used to have a Hot Wheel track like that when I was a kid. You know, this section has all sorts of toy cars, and goodness, look at all these things. Classic Hot Wheels buses, roadsters. There is just so much here. I mean, love looking at these. Got a whole really neat Hot Wheels section here. The lightning launchers. How cool. Oh, and then of course, one of my favorite sections, NASCAR. They got some amazing models in here. Wow. Okay. How many of you can actually name these drivers? That's one of my favorites. Hey, look, Earnhardt. They've got all sorts of, 3 full sections of just NASCAR stuff. Oh, maybe more than that. Wow, they're all over. Okay, this is something that people from my generation will remember. The Evel Knievel stunt cycle. Oh my goodness. How many of those did I break? With the little crank launchers there. And then they've got the other bikes. Oh yeah. Gee, how many ways can we wreck him? Okay, I'm not doing the Looney Tunes theme very well. No. But Tweety Bird. Okay, would you rather I start going, who's the leader of the band for all the family? M-I-C-K-E-Y-M-O-U-S-E.
I like that.
I don't know about you, but that's kind of a scary looking Mickey Mouse. Ooh. All sorts of different collections here. And we've got Buck Rogers, Flash Gordon, Robbie the Rocket, Robbie the Robot. I mean, look at all of these things. Okay, this is a toy nerd's dream. It really is. Although I do think it's kind of funny to jump from there over to the Dukes of Hazzard. Just the good old boys. Never meaning no harm. More robots. Yeah, this is really cool. I don't know, that's Bozo, wouldn't that be like riding with me? Wouldn't be like Dick Tracy. Okay, so I've been told that there's a passing resemblance. I do need to give you a warning. This may be a little scary for some of you, a little intimidating, a little frightening. Be warned, it's clowns. Lots of clowns.
There's more over here, George.
Look, clowns. Oh, come on. There's even more clowns. And how about this guy? Okay, yeah, he's a little on the scary side. Now, if you can get past the clowns, above all of them is this really neat series of dioramas, which tells the Christmas Carol story. From the very beginning, and then it goes all the way around the corner. It's really neat. Okay. I know some people are scared by clowns, but this section here, this is personally scarier for me. It's Morphin time! Mighty Morphin Power Rangers! Ah, I remember when they used to be at studios. This is really neat as well. They've got all these dioramas. And just, I mean, I'm guessing all handmade, but this would have made a huge village. And you kind of see that they're all dollhouses. The roofs open up, and how cool. I actually had one of these sets when I was a kid. Had the metal walls briefly, and then they got replaced by plastic ones. Oh yeah, I had a ton of fun with Fort Apache. One of the neat sections of this is the Harold Bell Wright Museum and Collection. Harold Bell Wright wrote a book called Shepherd of the Hills back around the turn of the 19th, 20th century. That actually was a historical fiction piece based on real people who lived here in the Branson area. And has just helped establish tourism, but tells the story, and so much of it is very neat. But they've got a great little museum here. If you have never read Shepherd of the Hills, I would strongly encourage you to. Great book. The other neat thing is you walk through and you'll see a lot of his own personal mementos with transcriptions of the notes that he had attached to them. So you can see that each of these was actually his. The guns that were over there and all sorts of things. His Bibles, and, collection of his artwork that he had. And just very, very neat. If you want to know the man, this is a great way to get to know who Harold Bell Wright was. You know what you need to be prepared for? I heard it through the grapevine. Okay. So this section here is all Disney stuff. Lots of The Lion King, which is ironic since it's been playing behind us. All sorts of Lion King. I think this whole thing is all Lion King. Above and below. So much there. Okay. The Disney guy in me is going nuts, and pins. Okay. This is terrible. I mean, they've got all sorts of pins. They're even hiding right along the edge. So I'm looking at all these classic toys here, and I don't know, I see this, I can't help but want to go. And I mean, this collection ranges all over the place. Including, this is another one I had as a kid. The Flip Wilson and Geraldine doll. You pull a string and it says stuff like, "The devil made me do it." And just all sorts of stuff here. Mr. T. And so neat. So many memories of toys. I don't know about you, but that's a scary looking doll. And my wife has found a section that she's probably in love with. Lots of porcelain dolls. She's actually got a collection of them that's been in our garage with no place to put them. Okay, how many of us as kids had these? You gotta tell me in the comments if you had one, and what was your favorite Viewmaster. I had a Bugs Bunny. I had a real neat one from Disney. But my favorite one, I think, actually was a whole bunch of different natural wonders around the U.S. That was a really cool one. And of course, what would a toy store bill be without a gift shop? Yes, all sorts of gifts. Gemstones, toys, books, pop guns. There's some cool things here. Boy, I'm really tempted to get a pop gun. Although I think if I got a pop gun, my wife would probably pop me. But they got some wonderful little classic toys. Real cap guns. Not like the things you find in a lot of places now. The Branson bear. And all sorts of neat little things. So yes, you can get all sorts of stuff. But there's actually a whole second building. So that is just the first building of this. There's actually 2 buildings. So we're going to walk around and head on over to the next building and check it out. We hear that there's some really neat things, and this will be the part that the train enthusiasts will want to see. So here's a look at it from the outside. This is what you'll be driving by. And I don't know, this looks a little bit like Woody's Barn, sort of. But we'll have some fun because, yes, there's big trains and little trains here. So there's 2 levels in this other building. And the first one has the Roark Valley Modular Railroad Club. So let's go check that out. And oh my goodness, this carnival through these windows. This is amazing. Oh my. Okay, so there's a rotor over there, a paratrooper, you got the sky wheel, flying scooters. This is, wow. This is just, yeah, fantastic. Hey Craig, there's your whip. Where's that bumper cars? But this is, wow. This is absolutely amazing. And you can see how much is in there. Okay, so let me show you a little bit about this. Johnny Castle shows, built by Ken McKinney over 20 years, model of a 50s carnival. Every ride moves, 40 feet of railroad cars. Wow. Okay, so all my rail fans, here we go. Hello, how are you doing?
Good. Welcome to Roark Valley Modular Railroad Club.
Now, how long have you been set up down here?
We've been here for about 3 years, I think.
Okay.
Previously to here, we were at Branson Hobby Center.
Okay. That's... I remembered one down there, and I knew it hadn't been here, so that would make sense. Wow. Very cool. Look at all this detail. And here comes our engine again. Okay, now what's really neat here, look, it's the Branson Scenic Railway. So this is the circus trains.
Giraffes.
And yeah, you got the big top. Okay, I think old Circus Vargas there. Look at all the different circus train cars going all the way around. And they're just piled up here in front as well. It's so neat. And then of course you got the village and the huge carnival. How cool. Very, very neat. And then you do have a couple bigger engines up there. This is hard to show on video because there's so much there, but I hope you can get a little bit of a feel of just how much detail there is in this and how neat it is. A little bit bigger engines. But again, such neat setups. Yeah, what kid wouldn't want this, regardless of how old they are? And then you got the Lackawanna 484 Northern Lights Steam Train. Oh my goodness! I just realized what engine this is. This is Dick Finn's old engine. Oh my. Okay. So, this gentleman here was an engineer at Silver Dollar City. But this engine has a little more history than that. And in fact, this engine, if this is the engine I believe it is, when I grew up in Sacramento, we actually had a park right by my house where the Sacramento Life steamers ran. And they would run engines just like this one, and they would actually have passenger cars behind it, and they would pull people behind them. And I would go out as a kid, and when they were running the trains, I would ride the trains. Well, Dick was actually one of those engineers out there, and I rode behind his engines as a kid, and then he ended up as an engineer here at Silver Dollar City while I was working, and I got to ride behind him again. So it is a very strong possibility that I rode behind this exact engine as a child, and then got to see it again here. Oh my goodness. Even more trains here. All sorts of trains. Very cool. So yes, if you are a train fan, you definitely want to come down and check this out. And all sorts of them here.
Who do we know? Oh, your mother would like this section.
Okay, so we've got the Wizard of Oz. You know what I do anytime I see that? Oz. Okay. She's going to start throwing things at me here pretty soon. This is one of the things I was looking for. This was some of my favorite toys as a kid. The G.I. Joes. And let's see, I had both of those vehicles. I had the one up above it. Didn't have those two. Those are a little different. I did have the command center there. Although I played with enough, it was in pieces by the time it was done. I did not have this one, but I did have a number of those figures. And actually, I think I still have a bunch of them in the garage. Yeah, I like my G.I. Joes. So I feel like I have just walked into the Germany pavilion here with this big, huge clock. It's not operating, but this looks like something you would see at Epcot. Very, very cool. And then you've got Roy Rogers, although the Texans would probably want to liken him to, "Howdy, folks, it's Big Tex." So this is the National BB Gun Museum. And Roy Rogers, Dale Evans. That'll bring back some memories for some people. I don't know, I walk in and I wanted to start thinking, "Happy trails to you." Although they're playing Sons of the Pioneers, which great old music too. Yeah, but you don't like Black Beauty.
It's kind of sad, but it's a beautiful story.
She likes the story, but what was the one that you liked?
Black Stallion Returns.
Black Stallion, okay. Yeah, this is all Black Beauty. And then, of course, it's howdy doody time. It's howdy doody time.
Don't even try to sing.
Don't even try to sing, but Craig likes when I sing. Okay, Craig, you've turned my wife against me now. I've been told I can't sing anymore.
Red Rider, George. Do you know this one?
Red Rider? You shoot somebody's eye out with that. Real Lincoln logs made of wood. And they've even got them set out here where you can play with them. Ooh. course, you know the dark ones are better than the light ones. Just because. Who was that masked man? It's the Lone Ranger! So this is the military room. And then as you come through here, Margaret's shaking Lincoln's hand. No touchy. Ha ha, she's breaking the rules. Model airplanes and ships. But the nerd room is coming up. Star Wars. Oh no. May the toys strike back. But all the military stuff here is amazing. I mean, look at all these different dolls. Civil War. And they've got some really neat ones, Star Wars toys. This is Star Trek over here, a lot of them. So you got a number of Trek. I got my own phaser. Haha. I actually have that Next Generation game that's right there.
Look at that.
And then,
Han Solo.
yes, Han Solo on the Tauntaun. These are the full-size figures. These are the expensive ones I couldn't afford as a kid. Although there's some of the smaller ones. And the old land speeder. Okay, so I want to point out something here, because this has long been an argument with me and other Star Wars peoples. Notice C-3PO's legs. They're gold, both of them, not silver. They were not silver originally. They were gold. Long-standing myth. Okay, yes, the nerd is coming out. Oh, look at all this. All sorts of Star Wars. So much. So much. And trading cards. Oh, yeah, I had those. I remember those backs. Those are tops, along with some others. Lots of marionettes. All sorts of them. My wife is a little obsessed. Very neat. I mean, some really neat ones. They've also got dolls from around the world in here. So if you look down at the bottom, there's all sorts of them here from Japan.
Oh, that's awesome.
My daughter would love those. So Margaret has found one of her obsessions. Nancy Drew books. So there is a look at the world's largest toy museum, the National BB Gun Museum, the Harold Bell Wright Museum, so much more. It's all in one location. If you're local, there is a very nice discount on admission. Plan to spend at least a couple hours. We spent 2.5, almost 3, and there's a lot of stuff we're going to try and come back and see again. So be sure to check it out right here on the Strip in Branson. Thank you so much for joining me along the way. Thank you to my supporters too for making stuff like this possible. Don't forget that like button, share the video too. Thanks so much. God bless.